Your thankful, smiling face hosted life into my heart. The common man can merely live on the naturalistic isolation to learn how to forgive his past and gather himself for a fulfilled life. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for making me feel and think, to believe in life. I thank you for making me stay alive in my mind. Loosen up a little bit more. You are so tense, as well as I may be tremendously dense. I am grateful, acquainted, and acquired to you, but I will not be here long with you, for I'm not indebted to you at all whatsoever. I can take my leave whenever I please. I possess myself to hope so, for that would be a deed I would hate in my heart not to be. Beauty Observations clouded my mind. The many imperfections of these humanistic departures. Lilac summers, may you be depicted near sunder. False equivalency. Don't try to test me, as your level did not invest me. Hell to be the highest points of the adoption of your growing nature. As I rested by my feet, your seat was taken. Make it yours to stop with the fake. Indonesian hostile endeavors reacted toward my open, warmed figure, as this was it for you and me. Leave yourself behind and all that you have been known for. When will that ever be important for you here? Venturing through plasma waves for the sake of simplicity, sheer inquisity, listen to me humbly. The seasons they call out themselves, no one is too occasionally occupied to ignore them. I wish you would afford it as you soared it around. Now it's time for me to leave for now. I sat by that window in that old farmhouse. How was the view more beautiful than your eyes? Bright inland entwined like your lies. It's fine, when will I ever get you when you don't speak to me in fine discussionary accustomed? I don't care if these are not in the vocabulary of life. So be it, expression that is there for that reason, so feed it, for you really pleased to see anything remotely closed over the words that dreams would describe, instantly designed inside beside them. So may all be there, focused in history. confronted into the open waters of your heart. The sea is as bright or even brighter than the sky, as we can separate it from this nihilistic world so plainly incurred. You were, at times, I could see with the eyes that I had gifted from God. We may be grateful for everything that He has given to us. Do we deserve it all the way? Only time can pick and choose its way. Vagabonds seen in tundra, the open, deserted landscape, complex view of it all, the dreamscape, hosted and holstered, shadowed away, only looking at me when I stare into the desert rock grounds. The valleys, they are so mesmerizing to memorize. As I walked, I too felt like I was a lonely vagabond, confided vagabond, navigating his true design. Desires speak to me through the crevices and the narrow paths, through the canyons. Meadowed plains will never appear in this place, nor did I want them to, for I was so used to the dry, dusted utopian setting. My mind and brain were being affected simultaneously, processed into and from the pages of my muscle tissues into the corridors of my brain. Mind matter, forced into my brain, for my brain might become as diminished as the sands and pebbled sandstone racing above my powers of comprehension. How I set forth to become something greater than myself. Please meet me when I have finally healed myself to become my true self. I wish you peace as well. You have gone through too much pain to even deserve to think about having a way of life that is cruel and unwishful to your open desire. The empty-minded vagabonds in the desert can be learnt from. Trust me, they don't know what to trust or how to function in the way of life they ultimately should acquire to participate in. I revered for you to be here with me right now. I trusted you to the point where I wanted you to be the one that I kept with me for the years we thought and ruled about for so many years. The place where we felt the most comfortably entwined with ourselves. For the summer we knew it took so long, but we wished that every month would feel that way. A calm, resilient philosophy. Practice the airs and the seas of our final destination. We dreamt of a place where the sun would communicate back to us because of its beautiful placement in the world's sky and sky view. how we were so common compared to everyone else, but we imagined ourselves to be infinitely. May the mind try to tore that depiction away so hungrily, like we hated it. For that, we hated the thought of our thoughts fighting back against us so quietly but measly, like they knew all of our plans and dreams and stripped them so unthoughtfully away from us, like a murder in plain sight. Then I looked right back into the colossus and the colossal endeavors and architectural structures as they turn into the same valley of haven, as it turned away from me, as I saw no one against my side. Therefore no one was in fact there to be and to cherish my dreams along with me. With them, maybe if I look hard enough, you will appear. Or was I not destined to find you ever to appear on the desert plains? Or in finale you weren't ever supposed to be found by the sights of my eyes. in the keys of my life, wondering the same through the pieces of pine oceans of trees, seen in the forest of the world, centrated so deep, sometimes confuddled, ultra realistically in the shine of the many ways we see the light. Meeting you finally for all these years, it was for the dream discovered bliss. But now I meet you in real time. In reality, much too soon was your adversity. That is why I was saddened by you and your situation. I watched the mission, and I was in between the time of loving and respecting the creation it was. For it to be the same as any other art of film would be a completely falsely liable asset of worded speech. I discovered you in the mirrored world and room, seeing in the masses fall to the disbelief at the beauty of you in the sun. I was there in the changed expedition we departed on. But for now we were taking refuge in the mountainous regions of your heart. But seriously, what was the meaning of the shaft and caves that were windows to be viewed from the mountaintops? For we were on the pinnacle of the summit. Poor health matched the lack of common wealth in the villages that lived miles below us. The open crevices in the mountain geography were too sudden for any sudden movement. How did we know it was exactly safe when we saw the beauty of the circle of life taking its course through the years before in the exact location that we would be able to approach and embark on. But the risk was too faint. Move forward. changed by the ventures, stumbled the innkeep where we were, stayed at the margins and center cusps. I faltered to know more about who you were as a human structure. As we laid on the grass that blew so thoughtfully, pay attention to that beauty of nature as we see imagery depicted in the naturalistic endeavors of our creators, the will of God as He lifted the process of what we call our function, stowed in the right, tight mind. I invested in the front protector of the retina of your eye, connected to strings that would hold the sphere. God would color the sphere to make it renowned with how we see in the different colors we trained our mind to use, the eye to observe. The cursor I chose to intervene in your own perceptions of me and what you chose that you wanted to believe. Wasted, hollow figures spawn in the monuments I visited as they stare at my face. I couldn't help but bleed water through my eyes. I stared down instead, and my face became disoriented with grief and misery of caverns that flow into the labyrinths of my distorted pink mattered brain. as we built a replacement of it that lasted our entire lives.